All right, so we got a show here. Got the show lined up. Folks, we have a very serious problem. We've got a very, very serious problem. And, that's it. We're going to jump right in.
It is true that people are just walking in and walking out with it.
No, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you go to a local pharmacy, Dwayne Reed or Rite Aid, any of them, and you've got to get someone to help assist you. I mean, they have the little button there.
Yep.
You hit the buzzer, and the guy comes over and unlocks your toothpaste.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking about basic stuff.
Okay, so the problem is toothpaste is behind a lock. I agree. That is a problem. Let's continue.
Did I miss that we now have to lock up toothpaste?
Yeah. And
I'm just curious, Rev, really quickly. I mean, Eric Adams said he's going to do his best to fix this. I'm just curious. I mean, he's got a governor who's saying, well, I don't know that we want to give the judges any power to make decisions on whether they've seen the same bad guy in front of them like 12 times in the past week. And then you've got a DA.
So this whole thing is about shoplifting, right? Okay, so one of the things that I hate is the idea that, like, shoplifting makes you a bad guy. Yeah, bad guy. Like, it's such, like, a childish fucking phrase. It's such a childish fucking phrase. A bad guy? Like, what's a bad guy? Oh, a bad guy can be, you know, robbing a bank. A bad guy could be stealing a steak. A bad guy? What the fuck?
Yeah, I know you talk to the DA. The DA's going, oh, we don't want to punish anybody unless it's, like, really bad. You know, so, yeah, you can steal whatever you want to steal, and, yeah, we won't do any jail time. And then you've got, a woke city council.
Okay, now we're going to get into the woke city council in a second here. But again, okay, so stealing is wrong, right? Like, we can agree with the principle that stealing is wrong. Great. So let's talk about wage theft. But let's talk about wage theft, and we're going to talk about stealing. Let's talk about all these corporations that literally don't even, like, they pay minimum wage, but they don't even pay all their wages to their employees. They will just stiff them on several hours, and if the employee doesn't check every pay stub, they might be losing, like, 5 hours of pay, and they don't even know. Because, let's be honest, do you check your pay stubs? Let's just talk about this. Let's talk about wage theft. But anyway, let's talk about the woke city council, folks. So the city council woke up, and they're woke.
Then you've got a woke city council. I'm just curious, is Eric Adams going to be able to do anything? Well, he's obviously surrounded by elected officials who want New York to remain chaotic.
Well, I think he's got a challenge.
And again, that's another problem here. Is it's like chaos. Chaotic? Like, chaotic is like when you're playing, like, Grand Theft Auto and you put in that cheat code where the pedestrians all have, like, golf clubs and they all, like, want to kill each other. You know that cheat code in the Grand Theft Auto games on PlayStation 2? Yeah, that's chaos. Chaotic is not, hey, can you open up this thing so I can get toothpaste? I mean, it's annoying, yes, but it's not chaos. It's not fucking chaos. Like, what the fuck, chaotic? Like, I mean, like, let's be honest, chaotic? Wow, that is some hyperbole. And then, like, of course, like, the big criticism here is, like, you know, this whole thing is filled with Republicans. They're all Republicans, right? And then, Al Sharpton is, like, lending his credibility here. That's why, people are talking about this. That's why I saw it. Is the idea that Al Sharpton, I mean, like, yes, Al Sharpton's not the greatest guy in the world, right? You know, when it comes to his takes on things. But he has a lot more, like, credibility than any of the other people on the show, and he's like just like lending all of that to like shit on shoplifting for no reason. Like, there's no reason. It's not like they're advocating for an agenda of some kind. They're just like whining like babies. Like, it's just whining like babies. Like, I don't, like, you know, it's just weird. But okay.
Because there is a debate in the criminal justice system, and there are those that are concerned, including me, about overloading the system and the jails with petty crimes. But at the same time, you cannot have a culture where people are just at random just robbing and stealing and is out of control.
Well, okay, that's one of the things here. So, okay, yeah, well, the cops are bad, the justice system is bad. Okay, great. That's wonderful. Thank you for that. But also, this idea, like, the idea that it's just random. Like, these are just like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if I, like, stole that? And then they run out. Like, that is, the idea that this is like there's no logic. It's entirely unexplainable. What? Like, it's random? Someone stealing food for their family. I have no idea why that would ever happen. No idea. They just stole food. And then they immediately gave it to their family. I have no idea why that would happen. Could it be that they're hungry? No.
Control, and is put on the front page of newspapers, which only encourages others to do it. In fairness to Eric, he's only been mayor 5 weeks. But but even as unfair to him, Eric, they're locking up my toothpaste.
I'll say,
come on, baby.
Come on. I'll say that first, just the Hamburger cover in the New York Post just makes me hungry. I've been up for a few hours now. Yeah. But I think this is that things just aren't quite right. The city's a little bit out of control. Crime is up in 72 of the 77 NYPD.
So again, this is a big problem. Is people are so upset. Crime! There's crime! You don't want to live there. There's crime. Did you hear that there's crime? It's chaos. And crime is crime and chaos. Like, what? Like, what is crime? Like, when you think crime, like, if someone said, like, oh, you're thinking about crime, what's the crime statistics? You're thinking, like, oh, like, like, home invasion. Or murder. Or, like, robbery. Not stealing food from a supermarket. That's not crime. That doesn't affect anyone. Like, that's the thing. It's like, when you think about crime, I'm concerned if someone's going to break into my house. Is someone going to, like, stab me on the street? That's the crime I'm concerned about. Someone having a taillight not functioning, I don't care about that. That's not crime to me. Someone stealing a pack of fucking Pokemon cards from the 7-Eleven, that's not crime. That doesn't affect me at all. Right, but it's all crime. It's all lumped into the same fucking statistic. Oh, it's crime and chaos. There's crime everywhere, man. Crime is up. What crime? I seriously. I mean, like, is stealing wrong? Maybe. But, like, okay, if we're going to take the fundamental principle, stealing is wrong, wouldn't it make more sense to attack these giant corporations that are stealing money from their workers? And from, the U.S. as, like, they don't pay their taxes. In some cases, a lot of these food companies get subsidies so that the government actually pays them to even exist. And they still fuck their workers. And not in a good dick way, I might add. There's a second video of this. Feel free to send me a second video. I didn't know that there was a second video. But feel free to send me the second video. But again, like, this whole concept of, like, crime. Like the old people love it, too. Like, they love the whole, like, weird crime thing. Where everything's crime. There's crime everywhere. There's crime on the walls. There's crime on the ceiling. You look up. There's crime. There's... Like, most crime doesn't matter. Like, and it's also like, let's even look at violent crime. Let's make this a broader conversation. Like, most murders are premeditated, right? Like, so let's even look at the violent crime statistics, right? Now, I don't like living where people are killing each other down the street, right? That's not, I would prefer not to. But again, let's look at the violent crime statistics. Most murders are people premeditated, right? And because of personal disagreements. Like, let's be honest, right? They're presenting this as crime and chaos and crime. There's so much chaos. It's so random. LMAO XD. Random. Right? So most crime, like most violent crime, is not actually that random. Now, a lot of it's random, yes, and that's the part that I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about the random crime, the home invasions of someone that doesn't know who I am, and they're just trying to, I'm afraid of being mugged on the street, absolutely. Being raped, that kind of random, chaotic, violent crime is a problem, right? But again, there's we don't have, in society, we don't have ways to examine these kinds of statistics, right? It's all lumped into crime, right? And sometimes you see subcategories of crime and violent crime, and even then, violent crime, how much of that is really, at the end of the day, unless I'm getting involved, with gangs, or is that, how much of that is actually going to affect my day-to-day living? And chances are, not much. So there's no crime. The only crime is this television program, this MSDNC liberal Democrats. Little eggheads on TV. That's the only crime that I'm seeing. But anyway, that's me. I'm tough on crime, folks.